there's a character that has been there in the Guilty Gear lore since day one and has not had a playable appearance yet. I think we should show Gabriel some love. So in today's video, we're gonna theorize on how Gabriel would look in Guilty Gear Strive.
What are you going to do?
Enjoy the hunt.
What's up fellas, Panda here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the festives. I absolutely love Christmas. I mean, we're still celebrating it. That's how it is in this house, we still like that. But in today's video, we're going to be making a theoretical Gabriel gameplay design in the hopes that he may come to Strive. I mean, this guy's been in the lore since day one, has physical models, and we've not used them once. Zamman finally got something. I think it's only fair that Zep should be the second playable grappler with a different outtake on it. But in today's video, we'll be talking about these points, which is the vision, the way his moves will look in specials, the supers, and a lot of his main inspirations like songs and wind poses and stuff like that. But the first thing we need to get out of the way is the vision. You need to understand what I'm going for and what I'm thinking about when making Gabriel into Strive. When Gabriel comes to Strive, we want him to be accurate to how he looks in the cutscenes. To convey how he is, look at this cutscene. This scene tells you everything you need to know about him as a character. He's strong, confident, and doesn't mind doing the hard work. We also want to make this man a grappler, that way we can see what Potemkin was inspired by when working with him. I almost want it to feel like Gabriel was a massive influence on Potemkin. We want his kit to feel unique with nods to other things, that way he stands out as his own and not the Rickoslav that we've been getting accustomed to recently. When it comes to his idle animations and movements, we want to think confidence, not a sense of superior others, but more confident in his own capabilities. He should move like Darius in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where he has his hands behind his back, folded. His forward walk can be him cracking his knuckles or maybe dusting his shoulders as he moves forward. And his back walk should make it so he raises one hand and he strokes his mustache, kind of like this. Look at me. Kind of like this. I know I'm a bit goofy with it, but bear with me. I almost feel like he's gauging his opponent down, you know what I mean? Like you're staring someone down and you're trying to understand what's the best approach. All of his normals should involve him dropping his stance to hit like a truck, almost like Slayer. His jab can still have that pose, but anything else needs him to unfold those arms, that way he doesn't look clunky like an NRS character. The gameplay design of the normals should be stubby but compact. He wants to focus on being up close with his attacks having heavy impact. So his normals and designs and visuals should all be designed for up-close offense, or some neutral pokes like a decent sweep on 2D or 5H having okay reach. He should not have a Slayer 2H is the best way to view it. Final thing for the vision is inspirations. He should have some nods to Kinnikuman as this inspired Potemkin Buster, so we have to look towards that to see what we can give Gabriel. Now that we know the vision, we can get into the specifics and design of his toolkit. Let's start with the normals. To make tea, my voice was dying. His normals, as stated before, have to be compact and express confidence. His punch will raise one hand for a quick jab, with the other still behind the back. As a character that wants to be up close, I say we can make this a 4-framer that is extremely stubby. You can't anti-air with it. Crouch jab can be a 5-framer or a 4-framer. I'm not too bothered about it being a 4-frame mash or whatever, just as long as it can't be low profile, you know, on the 2P. 5K will be a very unique button, as he'll do a double hit and kick if you press kick again. Not like he's doing a double knee raise going bum bum. Window on the double kick isn't that massive, but it's supposed to allow for staggers and confirmability. And this same property will be on his crouching kick, continuing the gimmick, where the first one will be a low and the second one will be a mid, so you don't have a double low. It doesn't make it busted, but the animation will be like the Cossack kicks, with a nod with that Russian-esque design to him. Also, it lets him keep folding his arms, so that's a big positive. Close slash will be interesting. There'll be a +2 move that has him move forward just a little bit. I'm thinking the animation could be an upper like Slayer, and I think it's fine to reutilize this as they're both very similar to each other. Far Slash will be an advancing straight looking like an equal punch. This advancing Far Slash will be 0 on block to keep the aggressive nature, but not an easy staggerable one like Slayer's. Crouching Slash will be a lot like Android 16's Crouching M, where it's a double hammer fist to the shins. On hit, this is actually knock the opponent up, linking into his crouching heavy, as he'll be a combo heavy character in disguise. The heavies will be very committal, but will cover some slight weaknesses, but still keeping the main one being that he's stubby. Heavy will make him do a strong gut punch that hits with a gust of air forward, a lot like Slayer's 5H when he punches down, but in this case it's more like he's aiming forward. Kinda think like UI Goku's Ki Blast, but it doesn't have reach. You'll be able to jump on this as it's going to be unsafe up close, and if you whiff punish it, it's going to be easy to hit. Sells his power when fully unleashed, and it should also lead to a pretty easy combo opportunity. Crouch Heavy will be a massive uppercut that is used for launch combos, as most of his combos will be airborne. You'll be able to recover in time to get a combo into Close Slash to jump cancel and get his air bombo. 5D will make him do a flip the table animation as he sends him flying into the sky, but yeah, that'll be the 5D animation. And Crouch Dust will be a decent reaching sweep kick, kinda like Potts, but the reach is not that far. The unique normals are where he takes inspirations from Potemkin. 6k will make Gabriel move forward with a shoulder, and this will allow for Karas, and keeping the animation will nod to the experienced players that yes, this is a Kara cancelable normal. 6p will be like Bacon's, where it's very difficult to use, but the main reason you're using it is an anti-air rather than poking. Probably make it a headbutt to kind of keep that confident aura about him. And 6H will be a stagger tool. If charged, it's +3 and not a guard crush. If out charged, it's near unsafe. It'll kind of look like Slayer's 5H, but he charges it instead. But that's it for the grounded normals, but now we have to talk about the normals in the sky. His punch will be like an air-to-air jab like his grounded punches. Kick will have him reach a bit further and is still an air-to-air too, kinda like HC's air kick. The slash will make him do a volleyball uppercut to knock the opponent up, as I want him to have air combos. This will be a good combo filler tool and a multi-hit, and it will be insanely hard to use as a jump-in. Kinda think of it as like Leo's jumping slash, but instead it's with two fists like that. So he's jumping in like bump bum. Heavy will be used as a slow air but can also be used as a jump in. On hit, it'll lead to a wall bounce, kinda like he's standing heavy. This will look like his 2S but in the air. Thinking it can be used as mostly a combo filler tool. And then Dust will be an elbow drop that gives Oki on hit, but it's got the same properties as Potemkin's JD, where it's more plus depending on how high you do it. Now that the normals are done, we've got to talk about the specials. His specials, as mentioned earlier, should give Gabriel a sense of force, impact, and speed. I want him to focus on being a grappler with the option of chain throws, so it gives him that creative freedom. I have two ideas how the chain throw can work, but I want to focus on the first one. Command grab will be a clinch where he grabs the opponent by the collar with one hand. After this, the player will have an option between 4 buttons to use to suit the situation they're in, or because they feel like it. Punch will make him toss up the opponent with him punching the opponent forward, kinda looking like Pile Bunker in terms of impact. The punch will send them far, but if the wall is there, they'll bounce off for a combo. Medium will swap sides and give scaled combos, and it should look like he swings them around with a judo-like force. Think of it as like Saul Bad Guy's Wild Throw, back in the old games where it used to give a combo. It'll be super scaled. Heavy will make him do a rolling death cradle called Rin, and this will be based off of Kinnikuman's technique, where he uses the exact same thing called Rin. He'll deal the most amount of damage and give Oki for a safe jab, but you can't RC it. He gives you the least amount of control, so you're knowing this is the damage and Oki option, and that is it. No RC, no control, no combo, no wall break. So think of it as like maybe a mid-screen ender if that's what you need. And I feel like it should be based off Kinnikuman, as this heavily influenced Potemkin, so it should also influence Gabriel. Finally, Kick will make him brush the opponent back, where they take a tiny bit of damage, but it leaves them in the stagger state. And for resets and mix-up opportunities, doing nothing in the command grab will always do the kick follow-up. The other version would give him chain throws like Clark from KOF, where it's all one grab, but you can go down 3 different trees. A side swap tree, a damage tree, and an Oki tree. The Oki tree will end up doing a pile driver, slamming him into the ground for a good bit of damage. The damage tree will make him do the Rin rolling death cradle as we talked about earlier, and the side swap tree will make him toss up the opponent where he'll jump up and do a soccer kick, kinda like what he did in the cinematic with Slayer. Personally, I prefer the first option, as I think this allows for more creative freedom and is simple to pick up. It also reminds me of Beowulf's clinch throw system, which I thought was extremely fun, and for a lot of newcomers that could be something to get them into that. Also, I think his combos shouldn't have a ton of screen carry, a lot of air combos for sure, but not enough of the screen carry. That way the punch follow up on the command grab doesn't happen as often, but it's super satisfying when it does. Input for this will be half circle back into forward punch like Potemkin Buster, and it can be carried by pressing 6K. I haven't thought of a name for these command grab series yet, but I can imagine them all having different names and different routings. So if that's something you guys want to come up with, would love to hear it. Then we gotta talk about the rest of his kit. I have a special where he lunges forward to do a hit grab. It'll be called Zet Buster. You'll roll over the opponent on hit to go into the air to do a muscle driver, again heavily inspired by Kinnikuman. This will be seen as a combo ender that does damage in set for Oki. It can be RC'd and it can also be done in mid-air. That way his air combos have an ending that is reliable and does damage. This is done by doing half circle forward into heavy, and it can be carried as well. And we need a neutral tool he can use. He'll stomp the ground, causing a ground wave of rocks to move forward. It'll be called Rolling Stones, and it's got a slow start up and is a mid. This allows for him to move forward with RC and threaten something from full screen for those tricky matchups. It won't be a solve all option, but it'll be something to throw out there, and it'll be done with quarter circle forward slash 236 slash, and it can be carried just in case you need reminding. And we need something to make his block string safe but can be negated with a good instant block into throw. He'll do rapid punches. It should look a lot like his cutscenes. This makes him safe with pushback, and he'll hit the opponent 5 times up close, with the final hit being spaced after these rapid punches so you can see the timing to instant block it. Final hit will be a pretty solid one, and if you do the instant block you'll get throw punished. However, on hit it'll be used as a combo filler tool with a wall bounce on the last hit. It can be done by pressing quarter circle backslash and can be carried for those tricky pickups. His normal throw will have him do gut punches and it'll crumple the opponent, and it'll kind of look like Golor's headbutt throws. It won't give a combo, but it'll crumple them. Now let's talk about supers. I have 2 non-cinematic ones and 2 cinematic ones in the back of my head that I would love to be seen done. The first one is an enhanced rapid punches like his special Buddha Fist. This will be a cash out super that sends the opponent through the wall for a lot of damage, and on block is unsafe and has no iframes like Angie's fan super. The other non-cinematic one is an enhanced muscle driver. It's like a wake up 720 super where he'll come down like a comet to sell the power of the impact. It can be used in any situation like defense or offense, can be used to mix up, but it'll give you no combo whatsoever. It'll deal solid damage, but it won't give you any Oki either, as being able to use this on offense and defense to get Oki sounds very unfair. You can carry into it and the input will be the same as Potemkin Buster, but instead you're doing it with slash. I was thinking with the command grab options that we talked about earlier, and then doing kick to leave him in the stagger state to go into his command grab super, it looked really cool. You grab him, shove, and then you grab him, muscle driver. It looks sick. Now it's time for the cinematic supers. You'll have a 50-meter super where he does a command grab super only in the air, so it'll be an air-to-air unblockable super. That way it's a bit more fair. Potemkin's hammer fall into heavenly is not a dash into heavenly. Upon a dash into heavenly, you think it's busted. That way I think it's fair that Gabriel can do this in the air, as he can combo into it, and it'll give him a good air-to-air call out. I think that's only fair. It's not the same as dash up into anti-air. That's so easy. That's so easy compared to doing an air-to-air command grab super. What he'll do is he'll grab the opponent and he'll kick up into the sky like he's kicking off the air. He'll keep the opponent tucked up in a fold up position, almost looking like a powerbomb setup. After hitting the peak, the height, you'll see an amazing view, and he'll turn quickly as he goes straight down into a drill-like motion as he does the muscle buster. With the opponent hitting the ground head first, calling it Heavenly Gabriel Buster or Heavenly Zet Buster, this will look like the muscle driver, but with a ton of oomph. I was thinking a 100-meter super that shows his full power, kinda like Slayer's. He'll hit the opponent with a dashing punch. It'll have no iframes, a lot like Slayer's, and the opponent kneels down, stunned by such a punch, with them looking up after it. It shows Gabriel standing over the opponent with a confident stance, with the sun behind him and his fist having a massive shadow over them. He reels back his fist and punches with a powerful straight. and it should look something like the death punch from One Punch Man, and then the opponent will go flying and come from the other side of the screen, again to sell that he's a rival with Slayer, and that this is him at his most. Not all these need to be implemented, but I think these are very cool ideas that you can go down for as super routings. We're going to talk about final inspirations, i.e. nice little details that would suit his character. Let's talk about his stage. I'd love to see something up in the sky like the Zep Nation. It would be great for Potemkin to have his home ground alongside his comrade. In terms of song, I think it should be something heavy metal. It should feel like weight and it's straight to the point, a lot like the character. But I would like a bit in the song that refers to Potemkin's song Armor Clad Faith. Particularly the part where it talks about him being a fool and sounding like a silly clown. I want him to have something as if he's trying to console Potemkin in his theme, almost like he's saying something like there are silly fools out there, but they make for the greatest soldiers and the people that want to just do the right thing. I want it to almost sound like he's saying, I see what Potemkin's going through, but he's doing the right thing, almost if he's in his corner. It'd be a nice nod to him, you know, as if he's that supportive figure in his life. Now let's talk about taunts. He should have one taunt where he's talking to Potemkin. That goes without saying. It'd be very funny to see. So he's asking for a mission report, kind of bring up a small little green Potemkin as he's talking to him. Just have it like Potemkin's responding as if he's fighting his opponent as well. You know, kind of like they're both in their own little mission. I have one taunt where he talks about getting serious with his jacket waving heavily in the wind, almost like he's powering up. I have a taunt, and it'll be a little bit funny, where he walks up slowly, talking about how he has to do this for his mission, and maybe make him do a hit that does 1 damage, like a little tap on the head. Now the wind pose, it'd have something where it pulls up a projection of Potemkin talking to the fella, asking him to hurry up on his mission, asking about his report, saying that he's done on his side. This will be a fun nod to Potemkin's wind pose, and if he beats Potemkin in the matchup, he'll instead call him medical support, saying that today's sparring session went too far. And in Potemkin's case, change his wind pose where he's doing the exact same thing, but he's in shock that he bet Gabriel, almost like he's like, Gabriel? You know, it'd be kind of funny. Felt like this was a very fun video to make. It's different and it lets me kind of get a bit more creative, as I like the creative side of these games. This is how I would design Gabriel if he was in the game, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Am I wrong? Did I miss out on my vision? Would you guys change some of my vision to suit yours a bit more? I'd love to hear why. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. Try and hit 5,000 subscribers to cover a fun version of Zangief, the grab videos and all that. I recommend you guys check them out. I'm still doing them, I just want some more in-between stuff to do while we're basically researching. Also be sure to check out the membership system, say hi to Tara and Pin, and I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas and is looking forward to the new year. Still working on Grab, still thinking about next grappler cover. There's so many out there, we haven't even covered 20% of them, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya!